Hi, I'm Tony Krumlusk, and this is a short video on how to play bar chords on the ukulele and why you need to know them. Bar chords are, first of all, where you cover more than one string with one finger. Like it could be all 4 strings, or it could be 3, or it could be just 2. That's what a bar chord is. Why do you need to know about them? The answer is you don't. If you can play a few chords with the open string chords like a C, a G7, an F, that sort of thing, and you can strum along with some songs that you know and play with your friends or on your own and have fun, that's fine. You don't need to do any more. But I'd like to show you why I think it's been very useful for me to learn how to play or where to play bar chords. For one thing, it helps with keyboard geography, playing in a higher position of chords. It's where the professionals do, and it also means that you've got fingers on all 4 strings. When you're playing a simple open string chord, you've no control over these strings. They vibrate in harmony, in sympathy with the other strings. Whereas if you use a bar chord, you've got control. You can release and stop the sounds if you want to. But the other thing is you can play in different positions. Same chord in at least 2, maybe 3 different positions. And that's important, particularly if you're interested in chord melody playing. The chord melody is where you play the melody and the chords at the same time. And it's very important to be able to do that. I've done a video, for example, on the song Oh Susanna. Oh Susanna, the tune goes from here, and both of those tunes are played with a B flat chord behind them. Mostly the tune is played on the top 3 strings 1, 2 and 3. So I play this chord here with a B flat chord. And then I move up here to the 5th fret, play the tune, but with also a B flat. Why? Because that is a B flat chord, and that is a B flat chord. The difference is I'm using here the A shape, and I'm using here the F shape. I've done 2 videos on how to do that, so I won't do that again. You can check those, all the links are at the end of the video, but I'll give you just a quick breakdown of what I mean by this. So if you want to play all the chords it's possible to play, you need 3 major and 3 minor chords. The major chords are an A, an F and a C. And the minor chords are A minor, D minor and G minor. If you play those 3 chords and the 7th to go with them as well, because you play 7 here, just that one, a C, that's a C7. Put a bar chord on and you can move up the fingerboard. There is the shape of A. If I change my fingers and then put a bar on the 1st fret, instead of playing now an A chord, I'm playing a B flat chord. 1 fret higher, it's a B chord. 1 fret higher, it's a C chord. All the way up. Same with the F chords, that's F, change your fingers, put a bar on, F sharp, G, G sharp or A flat, and the C chords working exactly the same way. And if you want a 7th, that's a C7, put that on, put the bar chord on there. And the minor chords work in exactly the same way. There's A minor, put the bar chord on, that's now B flat minor, B minor. the same with the others as well. They're a little bit trickier, but they work in exactly the same way. So if you haven't looked at those videos, I do suggest you have a look at them. Right, let's just check my tuning. I have to assume that your instrument is set up properly. The strings are not too high, they're not too low. You can get clear sounds on each finger in turn. Just check that. Getting a clear sound up to about the 5th fret is probably good enough. As with all fingering, when you're playing, what you're doing is aiming to get to the softer part. This is a little visual aid. This is the nut at the end here. There's the nut there, and the strings come across and come down and touch the fret here. And what you're aiming for is to get in that little V shape there, that soft part there. And you're doing that. You do that whether you're playing a single chord or single note, or whether you're playing a bar chord. It's important you get in that softer place. Too far over this way, you get dead sounds. Too far over this way, you get buzzy sounds. So aim for that. Not always possible. Your fingers don't always work quite the right way. And let's try that with the bar at fret 5. Trying to get that finger there and getting a clear ringing sound on each string in turn. As I say, not always possible, but do what you can. I try and get my finger as parallel to the fret as possible. Not always possible again, but that's the ideal. But your fingers are not really made for playing bars. And I also try and play slightly on the side of the finger here. I don't know if you can see the marks there. You probably can't. Rather than on the fleshy part in the middle, because you lose the strings in the fleshy part. So twist it slightly to the bony part there. You'll notice my thumb is halfway round, but slightly above. That is slightly this side of the reason for that is because if you've got your thumb there, it acts as a sort of fulcrum. You see, it's the weight. I'm not putting any pressure on that with my fingers. It's the weight of the instrument that's actually helping to press it down. So that's another thing you can think about. If you want, you can do what I'm doing there. Put my middle finger down there just to support it. Obviously, the strength of your hand is important. I played the piano for a long time, so my fingers are pretty strong. But if your hands are not particularly strong, just get building up some strength. You can get springs, or failing that, just a tennis ball, just to practice and just strengthen that hand as much as possible. The most likely chord you'll want to use for barres is the D chord or the D7 chord. You can play a D7 here, of course. That's a Hawaiian D7, which works very well instead of the proper one, which is this. But in fact, that Hawaiian D7 chord doesn't have a D in it, but it works extremely well. And B flat, of course, is one you'll find you need quite often. B, C, I showed you earlier on. It's also not always the first finger that's used for a barre. You can use the middle finger on a barre using like that, and that's when you have notes below it. some people will find this easier than others, and I'm sorry about that. It's just that some people do find it easier than others. Whoever said life is fair? But be patient. As so often, adults more than children want to run before they can walk, and in the end, however, there is no substitute for repetition, repetition, repetition. So good luck with that.